Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091 and welcome back to Let's Play 999. Last time left off, we were just moving around and mainly in door 1 to learn, and we learned a lot more from Clover about how she and Snake and they were part of an experiment 9 years ago in a notary game, and how there was one girl that died, which I have a feeling on who it is, and we learned a little bit more about that. And we just finished solving door 1. I did that off screen. And you know how we went back there the first time we finished door 1, she had something in her pocket and she said it's nothing. Well, now she says a note. A note? Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of his sinister hand or something. What the hell? Let me see that. But Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice. Hey, Junpei! Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up! Clover shrugged. I'll show it to you later, alright? Come on, we gotta hurry! Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Around the corner and off down the long stem of the L. A note? A note. Junpei was curious, but there was something else that bothered him. Her pocket had been bulging far more than it would from just a note. Now notice it didn't mention anything about the wooden handle he saw, or something like a wooden stick. So that means this time around she did not pick up the hatchet, which is a good sign. This means that we're definitely heading off to the correct ending. And this all of this should definitely be new to us here. So this should be very interesting. They reached B deck at the same time. Jumpy! Clover! June's face was excited. Something had happened. That much Junpei could tell by simply looking at her. What's up? Given their situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself. And we all know, actually, that they found door 9. Wait a minute. See, yeah, so they do only say door 9. They don't say 2 of them. Just follow us. We'll explain the way. Okay, let's go. Seven turned and jogged off down the stairs. The rest followed. We finally made it. A relieving excitement in her voice echoed through what each of them had felt. Yeah, it's finally time. Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe that they really done it, at least not just yet. Still, if everyone said that it was door 9, then it probably was. He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one. But there was one thing he couldn't get off his mind. The number door could only accommodate between 3 and 5 people. There were 7 of them on their way out to door 9, which meant that in the best case scenario, there would be 2 of them who would have to stay behind. 2 people. He didn't have any solutions to that problem yet, but he was just hoping that one would present itself, like having 2 doors. Junpei looked over at the clock. The hands indicated that it was 4:30. They had 90 minutes before their time was up. Hey! Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up! Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie, whatever he said. Let's go, Jumpy! June took it off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could. Junpei followed. And yeah, this is, I think it was around this time where Clover kind of interrupted us, saying, what about let's go through door 2, and, she killed them, so this is, definitely good so far. As a group, they piled inside the elevator and rode impatiently down to E deck. It looked familiar. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. Someone grabbed hold of it and began to talk. I know I told you I would explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left, and that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, they headed down another hallway. It took them toward the bow of the ship, and eventually to the number 6 door that Junpei and June had found earlier. With 4, they've been able to open the door and keep going. As usual, they faced the locked door, but had been forced to complete 2 different areas before they could unlock it. Once they were through that door, they were at another hallway that went in the other direction, towards the stern. So, on your way, you found the elevator. That's right. So in other words, you kind of did a lap, huh? You came from that side to this side. Yeah. With that said, old Junpei looked around. So, where's the number 9 door? Over here. Follow me. Seven began walking down a hallway that led toward the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him. They'd been walking for quite a while, June in silent step with Junpei while she spoke. You know, it's because of Santa we're all here right now. Huh? That all 7 of us are gonna go to door 9. You don't get it? Santa, 7, and Lotus. What's their digital route? 9? It's 9. That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they wanted to. But they didn't. Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them. He said we can't leave June behind. That's why we went looking for you guys. And then he got on the elevator and went back to the central staircase. That's right. Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would have been the one to stick up for you. I mean, Junpei felt his eyebrows knit as he considered that. Oh, don't get me wrong. Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern. I don't mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first. Junpei was about to respond when 7 suddenly stopped. In front of them stood a door. So, is this... Junpei couldn't see 7's face, but he could see him nod. There's no other place for us to go. Nope. Just look around. At the end of the hallway was a thick iron wall. To the left and right, other hallways led to the port and starboard sides of the ship, but they were both closed off by thick metal grates. It looked as though 7 was right. The door in front of them was their only choice. Alright, let's get moving. He pulled open the door and walked in. Junpei took a deep breath and followed. And sure enough, there they are. It appeared they'd been telling the truth. The first thing Junpei saw as he entered the room was a number 9. Like all the others, it was a rough thing made of red paint. The door decorated sat in the back wall of a rectangular room. Junpei ran up to it. It was a large double door with powerful styling. Something about it was almost majestic, and it made the red paint look especially garish. Junpei grabbed the handle and shook. It didn't budge, but then he hadn't really expected it to. The red was bolted to the wall next to the door. It displayed red vacant. Finally, they'd arrived. Junpei felt a flood of emotion wash over him. He felt a chill down his back and the chest and tighten over his even as his blood began to boil. He was about to speak when... Junpei, look behind you! He turned around, and Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw. A door and a 9. Yep, there was another one. Hey, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? His words came slowly, and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door, set parallel to the door they'd come through, but in the other corner of the room. 9. There's no mistaking the number, and if any proof was needed, a red was bolted to the wall near the door. He grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, but because he had to make sure it was real. Why the hell are there 2 doors? It was Ace who spoke first. Did you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one? Lois was skeptical. I don't know about that. That seems unlikely. What makes you say so? Well, think about the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just have to go with our best guess and leave the instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck? They're saying there's some sort of hint in this room. No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before. I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though. Well, then, that means... Yeah, both of these are in the right order. Right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it. And, yep, we know. Because we've seen this before in the other ending. But that ending took forever. I did not realize the safe ending was going to take forever. So if there are 2 doors, not number 9 doors, if we split it right, that's not going to work. Junpei blinked and looked at Clover. She held out her hand. You've got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them? Slightly confused, and he pulled them out and handed them to her. And I'm sure any of the combinations are not going to give us 2 9s. Look at this. Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and sat it down at the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers. Yeah. Nothing's going to leave a 9. You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations of digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit. There's only 8 possibilities. We split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So, if 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right? Clover nodded, almost as if she were pleased with herself for solving a difficult math problem. The room went very quiet. Silence lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. No one spoke. Their faces were blank. Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around him. As he did, he began to wonder. What was it? The walls were covered with candles. The wavering flames made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. 2 rows of wooden pews filled most of the room. Between them was a strip of rich red carpet. The carpet ran straight through the room, ending at a door that pointed to the stern of the boat. At the other end of the carpet was the altar, which we all know it's in there. An altar? It was a recessed space set in the wall between the 2 other doors. Sitting on a raised section of the altar was a coffin. Coffin. No, it couldn't possibly be. But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? I know. That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about that coffin for the time being. Oh, jeez. They're right there, too. At that moment, Seven spoke. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced. Okay, I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, somebody would volunteer, but I guess nobody's got the guts to do it. Junpei didn't understand, but he wasn't the only one. What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right for her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong, she just... screw it. Let me just write it out. Seven snatched up the notebook and began to write it in. So everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look. If you're trying to leave a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us, wait, 1, 2, 3... Are we missing someone? Oh, yeah. It was right in my face, too. If you split us up into groups of 3 and 3 and 1, you can make this combination. Wait, this means... Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he had been a hero back in that big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing. The same thing? Are you saying... Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind. No. Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot? Lois was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered. I'm completely against this. I'll be damned if I'm gonna go into owe you one for getting out of here. The rest of them began to speak all at once. I'm against it too. I don't want to leave Ace behind. I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's got to be other options here. I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero. Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at Seven. Well, there you go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's got to be a better way than this. Seven made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and cough. Doesn't make any sense. He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corners of Seven's eyes. And that was when Santa spoke. Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet. Until then, Junpei had just realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion on Seven's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable. Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here? Santa shook his head. Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone. I don't see how it matters. I said alone. Eh? I said I don't want to leave Seven alone. There's a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver. What the hell are you? What, you don't get it? I can't just leave one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including Seven. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. No. Those are my orders. What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you? You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice. What? 3, 2, 1. Santa was so fast, Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving around like lightning. He spun and... Ah! Santa? What the hell, dude? He had June. See? I told you. His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile. A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head was about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying he needed 2 more. The gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple. What was he doing with a gun? Where on earth had Santa probably found a gun? Door 6, in the coffin. Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. Seven spoke, almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion. The gun's from the other room! What room? One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was going to do this. I should have taken the gun. Well, it's too late now, fat ass. Damn it. A mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face, and he glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't do so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. Then the smile faded and he began to move. He walked backward, dragging June with him. Excuse me. Before long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly and forced June to do the same. Now, time for you to start following my orders. Ace, Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you two to come with me. Put your hands on the red. That was what Santa had meant when he needed 2 more. Hey, you deaf? I gave you an order. Santa's eyes narrowed to slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed, frozen like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car. Right. Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it. No sooner were words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched, and the gun roared. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked. But why? Santa, why are you... Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief. Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends. What? You knew about the leaf word and the 4-leaf clover? Santa's cheek twitched, almost impersonally, whatever. What the hell is this shit? I've got no idea. You're lying! Shut up! Just shut up, you stupid bitch! Oh my god, this guy's going mad right here. You want me to put a bull in your fucking head? My god. Flecks spit from Santa's mouth. His face twisted in rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small. Santa... He snorted and shook his head vigorously and turned to face Ace and Lotus. Alright, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? You hearing starting to go? Going senile, maybe? Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild and her chest heaved with every quick breath like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate. June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she would leave the ship alive along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There was only one thing for Junpei to do. He turned to Ace and Lotus. Please, go. Huh? But, Jumpy, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're gonna be stuck, Jumpy. And so will Clover and Seven. I know, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven? Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of. But, no! You can't! Ace! Lotus! Don't do it! Don't worry about me! Please! June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. Without a word, he laid a hand on each of their backs and gently pushed them forward. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step, and another. They turned around and Junpei nodded. Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly toward the door where Santa was waiting for them. You know what? This video is going on for a little bit here, so I'm just going to go ahead and end off this part. I really can't believe what the hell's going on here. I really wasn't expecting Santa to act like this. It's like him and Ace switch sides. I mean, this is insane. Although Ace is still like the evil bastard, I think he still is, because he admitted to killing that one guy for killing Snake because you know, well, who he thought was Snake. So I don't know. We'll see how things go after this. So as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play 999. I'll see you guys later.